Are you ready for an extreme makeover of the mind? With the producer and host of A Better You podcast, the transformational coach whose assignment is to challenge people to change, grow, and evolve into the individuals they were created to be. Here is Dr. Anthony McFarland, providing you with practical tools and wisdom for everyday life challenges for you to win in life, relationships, and finances.
And I want to welcome you to this awesome community platform. And Lori, Mary, as many of you know, Gary, those of you coming in the room now, this is where I help people and entrepreneurs be a better you and do better in life, finances, as well as business. And some of you are new and some of you aren't. But my assignment is, of course, to challenge people to grow, change, evolve into the individuals that God has called them to be. And so my heart's desire is to really see people win. It's just part of who I am. I'm an advocate for people, especially our people and those that may even be considered underdogs. And, those individuals who desire to be at the top of their mountain, be the best version of themselves. This is the room to be in. And I personally really believe that in order to be a better you first must know who you are, know your why and what in life. And so it's important that the whole purpose, that we understand the whole purpose in life is to become what you already are, but to get people to acknowledge who you are, and becoming that great you has everything to do with you. And so to be and do the greatest version of yourself is key in fulfilling purpose. You know, it's interesting, through my personal successes as well as failures, one of the things that I've learned is that you must be intentional about being your authentic self to create that dream that's on the inside of you. Each and every one of us have a dream. Each and every one of us have this vision, this picture that we want to experience. And so again, I believe that if you want to change your output, you must change your input. And when you change your input, you'll change your output, because what goes in also goes out, right? And so you can't change or break bad habits until you experience an extreme makeover of the mind, which is my first book that I published some years ago. It's been one of my best sellers. So with that, I want to welcome you to the ABU, this next part of the training, and that is branding and marketing your business. And again, I share with you, I'm going to approach it from a different angle. Here's what I want you to understand. Your personal brand and business are invariably connected, whether you like it or not. What's my point? It's important that you nail your personal brand, and it'll forever be a catalyst for your business or your future businesses. What you have to understand is, if you get your personal branding wrong, it'll take any venture before it even takes off. And so when we think about personal brand, what's the first thing that comes to when we say personal brand?
My why.
Okay, your why. Anyone else? Anything come to mind?
The first thing that finally came to mind was empathy.
Empathy. Okay. Your personal brand is you. Think about it like this. If a business brand is a registered name, logo, tagline, mission statement, a feature, product, voice, then your personal brand is a collection of your name, your image, personal branding statement, unique value proposition that you give, as Lori gave at the end of her elevator pitch, your offering of products and services. Hear this: your personality, your audience, who you are, what you do, how you do it. Tom Peterson, executive, said it best in his Fast Company article decades ago. He says, we are CEOs of our own companies. And then he put Me Inc., M-E, Inc. So he talked about to be in business today, our most important job is to be head marketer for the brand called you. You know why? Because people don't buy your business, they buy you. So when you're building your brand, when building your personal brand, your objective is to help your audience, hear me, people that you come in contact with, see you in the way you intend to be seen, in the way that you tend to be heard. And unfortunately, that doesn't just happen from being the best version of you. Building a personal brand that your target market recognizes and trusts requires intention. And we'll get into that a bit more with our branding, the branding tips that I'm going to share with you. So when you think about benefits of personal branding and why that's important, you are the brand. Like most entrepreneurs, you have a lot on your plate. So in building a business, securing finances, saving money for equipment or products, juggling life's responsibilities, and perhaps even holding down a full-time job, as one of our new coaches online said, she's about to, I forgot how she put it, but she's not retiring. How did you say that, Lori?
Inspirement.
Inspirement. So she hasn't expired. It's inspirement to move to the next chapter of her life. It's a lot to handle, not to mention if you're married, you have kids. So with all that going on, here's my question for you. Should personal branding be a priority, or should you just focus on building a business and making money? And somebody answer that question. Which would you go with?
Personal.
It should be. And here's why. It's on you to grow an audience. So building your personal brand could help you gain exposure to new networks, not just new people, but new networks, new opportunities, business ideas, and products before they even launch. So imagine launching a business that has already hooked hundreds, if not thousands, of potential buyers based on you. That's the power of personal branding, which has everything to do with relationship marketing. So here's what I want you to understand. Your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. You know who said that? Jeff Bezos said that. Your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. So you can think you're projecting something. You can think that you're messaging something. You can think that your product is this, but what are people saying about you when you're not in the room? Are they calling you the cookie lady? Are they calling you the best coach? Are they calling you whatever you say you are, whoever you say you are? When we talk about branding, building businesses, shall I say, when we talk about branding a business, you have to validate your business. So brand new businesses that pop up out of nowhere takes time to earn awareness and trust. But when your personal brand is already credible, hear this, you, the individual, is already credible and recognized, you get a jump start to this validation. And so here's a hashtag for you, for your personal life, for your business endeavors, whatever that may be. Live the brand, be the brand before they buy the brand. You can't Google that and find somebody else said that. That comes straight from me. I'll say it again. Live the brand, be the brand before they buy the brand. Right now, each and every one of us in this room, you're developing, you're building. And that has everything to do with building slow to go fast. Robert Kawasaki said this, if you are not a brand, you are a commodity. If you are not a brand, you are a commodity. A commodity is anything useful or valuable, something that carries value, especially something that is bought and sold. So if you're not the brand and you're the commodity, here's another way to look at it. According to Gospa Isping Anderson, says this, people are commodified or turned into object when selling their labor on the market to an employer. So you can become a commodity or turned into an object when selling your labor on the market to an employer. So there's positive takes on both within both equations, but you want to be your own best brand ambassador. So now when we talk about you being the brand and building your career, building your business, building as an entrepreneur, building your life, your family. If your business takes off, you want your name attached to it. And because I want you to see this, how you are the brand of your business, and people buy you before they buy your business. So let's have some fun. Tell me who founded Facebook? Who founded Facebook?
Mark Zuckerberg or something like that.
Come on, you guys.
Is it Mark Zuckerberg, something like that?
Right. I mean, I almost was scared to say we don't have to tell you. Okay, okay, it'll get better here. Who created Tesla?
Elon Musk.
Woo! Pop right out. Who created Beats headphones?
Dr.
Beats
Dre.
headphones.
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre. Come on now. Okay, see now, the people of color are coming out. When I say own, whose picture pops up?
Oprah.
Oprah. Why couldn't I just been talking about owning something? But when you hear own, you automatically see Oprah. Why? She's the brand. Now, if I were to ask you who founded Pinterest, you probably need to Google it, right? But let's swing the pendulum a different way. Who created the tag, "Woman, thou art loose"?
TD Jakes.
Look at there. You see how easy that flowed? So I want you to understand that you're the brand. Again, I told you I'm going to approach this in a totally different angle. So here's what we want to do this year. We want to do more to produce more. Here's a statistic. 92% of consumers trust influencers more than advertisements or traditional celebrity endorsements. What does that tell us? You can have more of an impact on your audience through your own voice than your businesses. Here's a personal testimony from businesses that we built. I'll use my wife. Now, her brand for her day spas and salons was Michelin, right? But her face, people knew her. So when they saw Michelin, or even if it visually translated Michelet or Michelle or whoever, they automatically saw her face, right? So people had an experience with her, then her skill set, and then became repeat business. Are you guys getting this? So again, if we're going to do more, we want to make more money. I mean, that's the objective for those of us who are in business. Even if you're not in business, you're not an entrepreneur, you're in the corporate arena or just the general work arena. Everybody wants to make more money. So here's something I'd like for you to do. Just kind of play a Pictionary game with me. If you put two similar products side by side with a CEO you like behind one and a CEO you dislike behind the other, who are you going to buy from?
One you like.
Anybody else agree with that? You're going to buy from the one you like. That's how your personal brand impacts your business's bottom line. Mm-hmm. So when I say build slow to go fast, when you hear the statement, go big or go home, what does that mean to you? Go big or go home. Put up or shut up. What does that mean to you?
All in.
Be all in. Okay, I like that. Here's what I want you to understand. Going big requires first building slow. You can't go big if your foundation isn't together. You can't go big if your structure isn't together. You can't go big if you don't have systems, processes, and procedures. You can't go big if you don't have a blueprint that assists you, listen to me, is laid out for each phase of your build, your growth. So when you think about that go big, that expression is used in many different contexts. Everything from understanding the problem before you jump into solution mode. Watch this. You don't just go big to go big. You got to understand what you're dealing with, what's in front of you. Is that not right? So again, maybe planning your route before starting your journey. Going big, mastering the fundamentals of a sport, the fundamentals of coaching, the fundamentals of a cookie business, the fundamentals of a restaurant before trying more complex moves and builds. You ever heard that saying, don't put the cart before the horse? There's a reason for that. Again, go big. to build slow. You have to be willing to learn the basics of the mathematics before trying to understand more complex concepts. I mean, before you jump to calculus, come on, those of you that went to college, you better be good in adding, subtracting, division, multiplying. Come on, algebra. Hello, anybody remember algebra?
Geometry.
Come on, geometry. Come on. So in other words, yeah.
Pre-calculus.
Come on, you guys catching this, right? It's a phase. You got to build before you go big. In other words, it's about building a solid foundation before working on your desired outcomes. And oftentimes in business, being an entrepreneur or life in general, we're so focused on the outcomes that we miss the importance of building a solid foundation. So the concept of going slow to go fast centers around building appropriate foundation, systems, infrastructure, and support the growth and acceleration, not just velocity. Does this make sense? So we all understand the importance of a strong foundation for building, right? However, in our fast-paced world, we want to get to our outcome before a competitor beats us to it. So you know, in this climate, in this culture, you know, everybody wants everything faster, cheaper, and with less effort. But the reality is, it just doesn't work like that. There's so many different things that we seek in terms of outcomes that actually position us to actually not be stable and not be able to last. Because you've heard this saying, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Does anybody know how many businesses close every week? Anybody know statistics on how many businesses close every week or every month? How many businesses start and close every month? Somebody Google that and you come back and I want you to tell the group after I share this analogy with you what that looks like. How many businesses start and close? How about this? Let's be nice. Within here.
Excuse me, I apologize.
Okay, mute yourself. That was a big
Right.
Everybody familiar with a bamboo, Chinese bamboo? Chinese
Yes.
bamboo is a perfect example of go slow to go fast. Here's how the Chinese bamboo grows. After planting, the seeds need to be tended to carefully, and that's with anything, right? But you have to plant it and then you have to tend to it carefully for up to 5 years before even a sprout begins to break through the ground. Did you hear what I just said? Before you see anything, you have to water and nurture that ground, that seed that's in the ground, for up to 5 years before you see anything. But the good news is, once it does sprout, it can grow up to 19 feet. I'm sorry, not 19 feet, 90 feet in 5 weeks. How is that? That's over 30 inches in a day. It's over 30 inches in a day. Over 1 inch in an hour. Thank you, Coach Marcia. Coach Marcia said 50% of small business entrepreneurs fail in their first 12 months of being open. 42% of small businesses fail because of a lack of demand in the market for their product. Over 2/3, 66% of small businesses significantly struggle financially. Across the United States, over 543,000 new businesses open every month. Did you hear that? Across the United States, I'll say it again, over 543,000 new businesses open every month. 25 to 45% of businesses are no longer able to stay open after a significant financial crisis. Only 25% of small businesses survive 15 years or more. So imagine once the bamboo actually sprouts because the foundation, the roots are there, what happens when a hurricane comes? The bamboo plant can withstand hurricanes without breaking. And it's reported, you can Google it for yourself, it's actually stronger than steel. And the question is, how is that possible? How is bamboo stronger than steel? The answer lies in what is happening during those 5 years underground on the backside of the mountain. Here's what's happening. The plant is developing a complex root system with what's called rhizomas, horizontal underground stems that can produce both roots and above ground shoots. So the moral of the story is, don't be moved if you're not initially growing the way you want to make to build your, the way that you want to see results. Or you have to make sure that your foundation is built correctly, which will then prepare you for your breakout moment. Because all it takes is 1 minute. All it takes is 1 minute. When I say 1 minute, I mean 1 minute for you to start seeing the growth that you desire, that you dreamed of experiencing. See, everybody wants to produce great results, but great results don't come on accident. Yes, Mary.
I just wanted to share my thoughts on I tend to give my product a lot, and then and also make it available for events, and I kind of and I believe for orders, to receive orders, but I've gotten some orders over the years, but then they renege, and so I just wanted to hear your thoughts on that idea or concept.
Okay, we have 4 minutes.
Okay.
You have to come to a place that you do things differently. You're doing the same thing, getting the same result. Coach Lori, what did I tell the women, all the entrepreneurs in that Super Goal Saturday event? That as of that Saturday, moving into this new season, this year, that you are no longer for what? You remember what I said? You're no longer free, you're no longer discounted, and you're no longer,
yeah, I remember.
you're no longer a red tag.
Yeah,
I am not your red tag special. Watch this, my product, what I offer is of value. So you have to value you. People don't value the product because you're not valuing it the way that you need to. Remember, you are the brand. So if someone makes an order and then they renege, why didn't you have a deposit? You can't order from me without making a deposit. You go to the biggest bakery or the smallest bakery in a community, in your city, and you ask that bakery to fix you a birthday cake, they're going to tell you, you need to do one of two things: place a deposit, 50%, or pay for it up front. That's how it goes. You're in a new system. New season, so it requires new systems being put in place, new protocols. All right. I'll take one more question, and that's going to wrap up this master training. Any questions?
Is it possible to view any kind of a video?
Okay. All right. I'll consider that. Anybody else? We exit out. I got to cut you off because I have another meeting.
No.
I have another meeting like in 3 minutes. Anybody else before any comments or any questions?
Thank you. It was very insightful.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. All right, guys. So how many of you would like to hear more on this? I am going to create a special session, and I'll make sure it's in the back office. And so I want to encourage you guys, those of you that may not be platinum partners, to become platinum partners for less than 2 cups of coffee a month. So I think everybody can afford $15. You pay that for a Happy Meal at McDonald's. So I encourage you to join the platinum partners, and then you gain access to all the content that's in the back office. Well, with that being said, continued blessings, and I hope this power training has been a blessing to you, and I'll look forward to seeing you all the next time. Get ready, because for March, we're gonna do something better than March Madness, and we're gonna have weekly meetings with platinum partners once a week on Thursdays, and I'm excited about it. And it'll be a form like this: some of the discovery questions that Coach Marcia posed to you, some of the things that you took away from this session. I want to hold you accountable. She said that you got to be held accountable. So next month, Coach Lori, I want to hear from you. Matter of fact, you become a platinum partner. This is only for you. You become a platinum partner, and the next day, I'll do a complimentary discovery session with you. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us on A Better You. Until the next time.
Thank you for tuning in to A Better You program with Anthony McFarland. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow on your favorite podcast platform so that you never miss an episode. Thanks for listening.